The headlines: tuition fees are here to stay, UWI students are told. $2 billion in property up for sale on the West Coast. And Bajan under-16 netballers outclass Trinidad. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, April the 6th, 2016. Get with it, UE students. Tuition fees are here to stay. That was the gist of the message delivered by Professor Udine Barato, principal at KPhil, during the university's Student Awards ceremony on Tuesday night. She said the funding model for higher education has changed, and it must be recognized that students paying their own tuition fees is now part of the landscape. She advised potential students not to postpone their education because of the new costs, but to speak to UWI's financial advisors. She also called on businesses and benevolent individuals to fund scholarships.
I appeal to you to join the university in our quest to provide our young men and women across the region with an education that is simultaneously an investment in our own region. We are open to you determining the conditions of your award, to deciding how that award would be granted to provide you or your institution with the profile you desire. For example, you may state that awarded students must agree to volunteer in a children's or old people's home for X hours a month. As principal, I would welcome the scholarship and any acceptable stipulations because I believe firmly in the principle of giving back. Whatever you decide, seize the opportunity to make a difference in the educational opportunities of Caribbean young women and men.
Scholarships valued at more than $123,000 were publicly announced at the event by KPhil in collaboration with sponsors. $2 billion in counting, that's the sum total of beachfront properties on the West Coast awaiting buyers. High-end estate agents, Terra Caribbean, report, however, that sellers are tending to hang on to their properties in the hope that prices improve after 8 or so very sluggish years. Chief Operating Officer Hayden Hutton said Barbados has a supply of $2.2 billion in real estate from Bats Rock, stretching along the entire length of the West Coast. He said the average price of a West Coast villa for sale was $21 million, while apartments average about $6 million. Business is up at Aqua Beach Hotel for the second successive year. General Manager Suresh Mukherjee told Nation News that trading is up more than 4% over last year.
Fantastic. Year over year, last year we closed 2% above than budgeted, and compared to previous years, and currently as we start, we're 6.5% ahead of last year. So business all in all looking very good. April looked very promising. We also like to thank for the initiative that spearheaded by BTMI with regards to the 50 years Barbados celebration, offering a special discount. We participate in the event and it's very fruitful for us.
Minister Mukherjee said the 234-room property was now at 80% occupancy, but summer, the traditionally slow season, was expected to be challenging. He was questioned as Aqua hosted the symbolic Broken Trident, which is in Christchurch this month as it journeys around the country in the lead up to the 50th anniversary of independence. It may be the Easter vacation for our school children, but not so much for those pupils preparing for the Common Entrance exam on the first Tuesday in May. When the Nation News team visited schools on Tuesday, the children's emotions ranged from excited to nervous, with many identifying secondary schools they hoped to attend. The teachers said they had a lot of ground to cover, but the children were generally eager. Barbados is one of the world's safest countries for natural disasters, according to a published report. Data produced by the United Nations University Institute for Environment and Human Security and assessed by the London Daily Mail puts Barbados third globally behind Qatar and Malta. The ratings are calculated from past natural events and how they have been dealt with. In sport, it has been quite a baptism for Barbados at the Junior Women's Pan American Championship in Trinidad. They've lost 7-0 to Chile, 9-2 to Uruguay, 17-0 to Argentina, and 11-0 to the United States. That U.S. match, deemed a quarterfinal, was on Tuesday. And here are some of the goals, if you can bear to watch.
This again will go to number 13. She flicks low to the keeper. This it goes straight to the goalkeeper. Another opportunity for, and it's blocked. A third opportunity here, and it is in.
And again, Hoffman is set up on the left tower. And goes right this time. It's flicked and it's in by Laura Huff. Major with the ball, she goes in, reverse hit, and it's a wonderful reverse.
So Barbados being outclassed by hemispheric teams at the Junior Women's Pan American Championship, 44 goals scored against them to 2 they have scored. You might want to reserve judgment until they play Trinidad and Tobago, the only other Caribbean side in the 9-team tournament, on Thursday. Let's say Barbados' junior netballers stole a march on the hockey players by beating Trinidad and Tobago at the Under-16 Caribbean Championship on Tuesday night at the Netball Stadium. It was a comfortable 39-12 victory that went some way towards soothing some of the bruised egos of the Bajan Gems after they had earlier lost their shooting title to Jamaica. In actual tournament play, Jamaica were pushed to the limit before edging St. Lucia 25-24 to remain the only other unbeaten side. After a day's break, matches resume on Thursday morning, and you might have to set your alarm clocks for this at 6:45. That's right, in the morning. For the Night Owls, the evening session starts at 6:15. And finally, a man suspected of stealing and swallowing a gold wedding band in California underwent surgery to have the ring removed, police say. The suspect, identified as Joel Stephenson, was arrested after crashing into a fence while fleeing police. Paramedics discovered the wedding ring lodged in his esophagus in x-rays following the crash and determined he would require surgery to have it removed. The resident of the home that was burgled later identified the gold wedding band. Prosecutors charged the suspect with burglary, evasion of police officers, and resisting arrest. And that's Nation News for Wednesday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Thursday or subscribe to our e-paper.